Hi everyone, welcome to Python learning series for network engineers. This is the second video on logging. This is one of the subtopic in overall Python learning series in the channel. In this video we'll see how to add handlers in Python logging. I did additional level of iteration over the script which I explained in the first video. So in the first video we had only file handler and stream handler. Now this script is capable of sending even email during warning, error or critical syslog messages. Let me just run and show you. In addition to that, I introduced another feature, schedule. So now this script is able to run at every minute at 0th second. And another feature what I introduced is fetching the environment variable from the machine, Linux machine. In that way you don't have to hard code any of the mail ID and password. And I'll be demonstrating how to run this script from the backend without opening the Python terminal or without keeping the Python terminal open. You can just always keep running this in loop, this script, using the schedule functionality, and monitor the device and trigger email during the event. So let me just try running it. Now this is waiting for this event to have this time, this schedule. So it is waiting for 0th second of the minute, and here we'll be getting an authentication failed message. I'm trying to connect to the lab device, and we should be able to get an email if authentication fails. Because authentication I added as warning message, so you can see here it will be logging as warning. So this message is coming from stream handler, and we got additional message saying that authentication failed. Now let us have a look into our email. So you can see here I have received an email now. So we'll be seeing how to trigger these kind of emails from logging in Python. You can see the time 5:24, and this is the email what I received now. And this is the scheduler functionality which I am using. So this we can schedule depends on your requirement, and we'll be using no hub option in Linux terminal for running this from backend. And then another thing what we'll see is in the script I'm using environment variable. You can see here mail ID. Let me just try running it. Echo dollar mail ID. So you can see I'm getting the email from my environment variable. We will see those features. So now let's start creating the handlers. So first we'll see how to add file handler and stream handler, then we will add email SMTP handlers. So for demonstrating that, I have one more script here, pass show version logging. Here if this doesn't have any logging enabled, this is a script which initiates SSH connection. Let's try running it first, and let me delete the existing logs. Okay, I'll show the logs what we received. So you can see the log message here, connecting to the device and authentication failed. So let us delete the previous log files, and we'll be editing this script. Here I just added only comments related to the logs. We'll be adding all these options here. Now if you run this script, so it is communicating with device and passing the output, but you can see here it is not logging anything. So to add the handlers and enable logging in Python, so essentially we have 7 to 8 steps. I just added this as a comment here. In this script you need to add 7 to 8 steps. Certain steps are optional, we will explore those now. So this is just for our understanding. I just added the logging level. Now if you see here, every minute the script is running and it is triggering an email. So you can see here at 24/5/25/26, every minute it is running. Yeah, now let us start writing the script. First we need to import logging. Then we need to define a logger. So it will be showing that name in the log message. Either you can give the logger name as __ name. So that will be useful when you import it from another module, and from there if you are fetching the log. So now here, since it is a single script, what we can do, we can define it as a logger equals logging dot get logger, and we'll give a name for the logger. I'll call this as SSH parser, and here also you can see the logger name. So this is going to be the logger name, and we'll be framing this message, the format. I'll show that as well. And we can set a minimum logging level for this logger. Logger dot set level and logging dot, we'll make it as the lowest level, because here on top of this we are going to write even handlers, because handlers will have another set of minimum logging level, so it will take priority of that. Then the fourth step is create handlers. Here we'll try creating 2 file handlers and 1 stream handler, so that it can save files into 2 log files and in terminal as well. So I'll create one for logging level info and above, and another for debug and above. So I'll create file. I can give any name here, file handler underscore info equals logging dot, I'll make it as file handler, and file name I'll give file name with 02 underscore show version, and this is going to be info level log. I'll give it as info log, and I'll add one more file handler here. This is going to store debug and above, so I'll create it in this file name. And third is going to be the stream handler, which will print in terminal. Okay, I'll give the name stream handler equals logging dot stream handler, and there we need to give sys dot std out. The output what we are going to receive, we will log it in terminal. Then, so earlier we have given a log message for logger. Now what we need to do, we will set a minimum logging level for this handlers. So first it will check the handler level, then only it will check logger level. In that way, what will happen here, once you set the minimum logging level to info for this handler, so it will save only the logging of info and above. that means info and above, and another one debug and above. And for stream handler, we won't print everything in the terminal, we'll print only from warning and above. So warning, we will set it as authentication failed, and other cases device not reachable and unable to connect. All these cases will cover here in the stream handler. Now we need to set additional logging level for these handlers. This is optional. If you don't set it, what will happen in the end, when we associate these handlers to this logger, it will take the logging level of this logger if you don't set it separately for each handlers. So let us set it for each handlers. So file handler info dot, it is same syntax, set and logging dot, here we'll give info, and file handler debug, set level logging dot debug, and stream handler set level logging dot, here we'll give only warning and above, because otherwise everything it will start printing in terminal. And this is also done. Now we need to associate these handlers with this logger what we created. So for that, so the logger name, this logger dot add handlers, and first file handler info logger dot add handler, file handler debug, and logger dot add handler stream handler. This has to be here, associating handlers to the logger. Sorry, here we have to add the formatter. Formatter means the message format what we are going to receive here. So here you can see I'm adding date and time, then the logger name, then the logging level. Here I'm adding additionally the processor ID of each Python script, because when you just start running it from the backend, it is better to have the processor ID than the additional message. So let's frame it in this way. Let me just copy and paste the formatter. So the formatter, we can define it in this way, formatter equal to, and if you see here, it is ASC time, name, and level name and message. Later we will add the processor ID and process ID when we start scheduling the script. Now let us verify this formatter. So to verify the formatter, you can go to the logging module. Here you should be able to see all the attributes it supports. ASC time, it will log the time, then the name, the logger name, so in our case it is SSH parser, and the level name, whether it is critical, warning, error, debug, all these level it will print, and then the message what we are going to give. So this is the order what we follow here, and once you have the formatter, you need to associate this formatter with each handlers. So for each handlers, set formatter, and you can just give the formatter name, and then file handler debug, and set formatter and the formatter name, then stream handler dot set formatter and formatter name. So to simplify it, I am just following everything I'm associating with same formatter. So if you see here the 7 steps, first import login, then define a logger, then set a minimum level, logging level. So it is better to keep this as the minimal, and then you can control here. With each handler you can set the minimum logging. So here my logger will have this level, so the same logger will log for all these 3 handlers, and the info, the file handler info will log from info and above, and debug will have this, and the stream handler will log from warning and above. So in that way you can control with handlers. So first import logging, then create logger, then set a minimum level for the logger, then create handler, then set minimum level for handler, then create formatter for each handler, associate it with handlers, then associate the handlers with logger. Now we need to start logging it. So everywhere you can just start logging the message, and you can even set the level. So let's start setting here. For that, what you need to do, the logger what we created, logger dot, we can set the level, either it is info, debug, anything you can set. So let us just make it as info and just print a message initializing the script. Let us just write it here. And let me just try running this script. So you can see here the script execution has been completed, and here you can see I have received 2 log files, and the debug logger will be logging debug and above. So that means info also it will log, and in info also I am getting the same log message. I'm not getting it in terminal because in my stream handler I am just handling only the warning and above. If I change this to warning, let me just try running it again. I am able to get the message in terminal as well. And if you see in the log here, you can see this has changed to warning. In this way you can control the message and where to store it, and the minimum logging level. And in addition to that, let us write some more logs here. Let me change this to info. And for connecting to the device, we'll set here and here what we'll do, we'll just set the fetch the username. So it will dynamically fetch the username here. So what will happen here, since I'm defining a string, so username is, so whatever user what we are going to define here, and this username it will fetch from this, and here since it is a function, this function is going to call this. So let us try running now. Now you can see we are getting 3 messages, and this will get logged in both debug and info, because since it is info, the debug also will get logged, because it is debug and above, the info will come on above debug. Now we can start writing the logs in each stage, and then we will see how to handle the exceptions and how to print all the log exceptions in even Python, the Python error also in the terminal. So we'll see those in the next video. I hope this video was helpful. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.